Now the last time the plumbers were here, after we purchased this condo, we had them come out here and do a once over on all of our water supply valves. And I wanted them to check them, and out of all the ones they checked, 12, 13 water supply lines like this behind sinks, toilets, kitchen sink, bathroom sinks, all that kind of stuff. They found 2 of these. When they turned them off, they weren't going off all the way. So they shut it. So we had them replace every single one of these in the condo. And the condo's 15 years old. Might be a good idea if you purchase a house or condo that's over 15 years old. You might want to replace these, because after a while you go to try to replace your toilet, you shut your water supply line valve off, and maybe it's still running a little bit, drip, 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 or it's running faster. I've had these before in condos less than 10 years old, where this was just coming out in a stream, and I had to have all the water was all connected, interconnected, so I had to call the maintenance company on property. They had to shut off the entire building that had, I don't know, 30 condos on it. And so I had to call them, okay, shut the water off. And then they were standing there turning the water off, and then I got down there, replaced that real quick. 10 minutes later, okay, turn the water back on. And they turned the water back on. And you don't want to have to mess with stuff like that. So anyways, they went ahead and they replaced all of these valves. Okay. Now, if you had the old valves, either way, the water supply lines, I'm going to reuse the water supply lines that were on there, and it should really be fine. But I'm thinking, because this is all out of my way, why not put some Teflon tape on these? And I could do that right now. And if just the end of this was in the way, I could take a Phillips screwdriver. See, this one's okay. See how this one's up? So it would be hard to wrap. So I'm just gonna, I gotta be careful not to turn that on. Wouldn't that be something? Okay. I can just pop that end off like that, right? Now I can put some Teflon tape on there. And do I really need to put Teflon tape? Probably not, because like I say, these are brand new, but it's easy enough to put it on right now because nothing is in my way, right? And so I think I'm gonna do it. It's tricky because it's close up to the wall, so I'm gonna make that long so now I can wrap it around. Try not to get any folds in it. Try to keep it as flat as I can. And see, when you put that on, you want to put it on the same way that you're going to screw it on. You're going to screw that thing on, okay? And because this was up at an angle, it would have made it hard to turn and tighten up the bolt, the nut on the water supply line. You follow me? So I'm just going to leave this off. I can screw it back on like that, right? I can put it back on, I guess, and just leave it like that. Leave it facing that direction. Okay. And this one's fine. It's kind of up a little bit, and so I can reposition that, straight like that after I put this Teflon tape on. Okay, and you want to put the Teflon tape on the right direction. Okay, and let's just see if I can leave it. I'm gonna kind of wrap it over this way. You see, you want to go the same direction as you're going when you get ready to tighten up the nut. Okay, if I were to install this the opposite direction, when you tighten up the nut, you're actually loosening the Teflon tape on the threads. You see what I mean? I want to keep it off of the inside of that. There. Just like that. Now that's all ready to go. I can put this back on. Flat across that way. It might be easier to do this now than later. Now, if you want to do it later, if you can't get your screwdriver in there, put just an end from your drill, okay? And that one is too big, so there. You're just gonna put this in like that. If it's too close to where you can't get anything in, then you can use your wrench and loosen it up that way, okay? Easy breezy. And so there, that's ready. Even though I'm not ready to do that, I'm ready to put this sink up here now. And but I didn't want to have to mess with this after the sink pedestal was up and all that kind of stuff, okay? Now this is the it's just a rag down here. This rag has been in here for months. Since we painted, since we moved in. This is one of the last plumbing things I've got to do, but you want to stick a rag in there like that because then it keeps the sewer smell coming up from the sewer line coming into your bathroom, right? And these threads look all nice. You know, could I put Teflon tape on that? Yeah, I could. You think I should? I mean, this is 15 years old, and the threads on the nut that goes on here, if that is slightly worn, this Teflon tape will help it. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put some spins on here. And I know it's gonna go this way. This one's an easy one to do because I can use both hands, nothing's in my way or anything, right? Okay. There we go. And now I can just take that and twist it. Look at that. Okay. There. Now that's ready for the nut to screw on there. And I'm using the old adjustable P-trap. I think it's going to be fine. It wasn't leaking before. It shouldn't leak this time. And there you go. See this Teflon tape? It's always nice to have a roll of that around. You never know when you're going to need it for something like that, or if you're changing out a hose bib outside, you could use that instead of pipe dope. You can use that in water heater threads. If you're changing out a water heater, you can put that on there before you put your copper line fitting back on there, you know. So it's nice to have. It's just an insurance policy. Would these have leaked had I not put the Teflon tape on? Probably not. There's a 5% chance, 10% chance maybe on here, 5% chance on these two that it could possibly leak. This will help if the threads are worn. These aren't worn because this is brand new, but if the nut on that water supply is slightly worn, which it shouldn't be, but if it was, this Teflon tape will help hold it. It didn't take me very long to do that, right? This is your insurance policy. Remember that. Some of this I'm kind of explaining to you because I'm not going to be able to show you every single little bit of this, especially trying to get this up here because I'm going to be on the way of the camera and there's only so much room in a bathroom and stuff, but I'm gonna kind of center that first. I can always slide this around after I get the sink up here, right? I need 12 3/4. That was a good guess, huh? 12 1/2 right there. There's a line on one of the plankings down here, and it tells me about where I should be. Okay, that's about where the other sink base was, just about like that. And we'll see once we get it on there. I'll set it on there and get the bolts in. Now this one, obviously, I'm not going to be able to, I won't put in until the sink is up here. But as for the other one, I have to put the wing, the screw in and put the wing nut on the back side before I get it up here against the wall, right? And have it ready to be pinched and pushed through here. And I know they have a plywood backing behind this, and they got at least 1/2 inch sheetrock and 1/2 inch plywood, so there's about 1 inch there that I know I have to push that in all the way. And so I'm going to leave enough slop on that whole screw so that I can pinch the wing, push that in all the way, and with the wing nut size of the wings to get the wings back there to pop out. If you don't put it back there far enough, or if you don't use screws long enough, your wing nut may not pop out on the back side. I've done that before years ago, where I really didn't know what I was doing when I first started in construction. And I'm tightening the thing up, and I didn't realize the wing nut didn't go all the way through. So one side did, and the other side's still in the hole, kind of. I'm tightening the thing up, and it was still loose. I'm like, what's the deal here? Until I finally realized I had to unscrew the whole thing, pull it out further, push it in further until the wing snapped over. And if you got insulation inside the wall, sometimes you just have to be careful to make sure that you got that wing on the back side. Okay, well, next thing is, I guess I'm bringing the sink in, and I'm not sure, I think I can set it here and do this without Mommy's help, but if I need her, she's here and she can help me with this part. The rest I can do on my own.